morning, everyone. Path Chat covering Forex for February 22nd. This is Bob Iacchino from Path Trading Partners along with Mike Arnold. Quickly, I want to go over some of the events that happened overnight because some of them were actually quite telling. We had Germany's IFO index, which comes in three flavors: the business climate, the expectations, and the current assessments. Germany's IFO is similar to the PMI indices, except it uses 100 as the center line. So above 100 is a positive outlook and below 100 is a negative outlook. So German IFO, the expectations were expected at 103. They came out at 104. The current assessment was expected at 116.7, came out at 118.4. And the business climate was expected at 109.6, came out at 111. We also had German gross domestic product, which came out a little bit better than expected, 0.7 versus a 0.6 expectation. The year over year was 2.0, which was expected at 2.2. We had Eurozone Consumer Price Index. That came out at down 0.8, which is exactly as expected. And the year over year came out at 1.8, which was also exactly as expected. The core, 0.9, also exactly as expected. Coming out later in the day, we've got Canadian retail sales. The expectation is for flat sales. We've got U.S. existing home sales month over month expected out at 1.1. And then there will be a lot of eyes on U.S. FOMC minutes, which is coming out at around 2 o'clock Eastern time. So those minutes will be released and you'll hear data from that meeting coming out. One more thing I wanted to touch on real quick. Far-right candidate in the French elections, Marine Le Pen, in a new poll, looks to be the clear winner in the first round of voting to be held in late April in France, and it actually is starting to affect the markets. The gap between the 10-year French debt and German equivalent bonds went above 81 basis points for the first time since August 2012. So this would be France's Brexit moment, France's Trump moment. So it's actually going to matter if it happens. So just for clarity, there's more than one round of voting in France, but it looks like she's going to be the clear winner in the first round of voting according to polls. And it's starting to affect the markets, so we're going to keep an eye on that. So that's about it in terms of the economic calendar. I'm going to turn it over to Mike to let you know what he is seeing on the charts.
Okay, Bob, thank you very much. Euro US dollar closed below the trend line, targeted our defining point and our key GAN levels, which we called out. Now we're below that. If we continue lower, next major targets aren't until we hit the 104.62 to the 104.57 mark, and then we have a cluster of possible support levels below there, including the 104.44 and the 104.17. If we turn back higher, watch first for a short-term test of the 105.20 level, then followed by yesterday's close, the rising trend line with it, which is the concept of kiss the trend line goodbye, and eventually the 105.52 level, all in the short term. Nothing else to do there though. Pound. We've still had this double top trigger. It rallied slightly. Now it's turned back lower. We keep retesting this key significant level at the 124.18. Watch for moves below that. We also have some pretty significant resistance up around the 125.22, but we are caught in this range again, so there's nothing to do but really sit on our hands and watch. If you're in the longer term trade, the double top, then watch for the continued move down. It's nowhere near the stop level. Shorter term, you're just scalping around these prior highs and lows and these key significant levels to take advantage of. Yen. And we're still caught sort of in another range, tested both sides. Watch for key support around this 112.73 level and resistance around this declining trend line and the 114.28 level. We have to get really below this 112.74 level before we can really look to run down to the 111.93. And we have to get above this trend line before we can target the magenta lines higher. So it's sort of in a holding pattern. Also, Swissy. All right, so we closed above the trend line's defining point. Next targets to the upside are the 101.64 to 101.67 key levels. If we do pull back, watch for support at this defining point on the short term around 101.18 and then the 101.02 levels. Aussie. This one is just in another holding pattern. Watch for a break below the 21, which is the blue line here, and this rising trend line. If we get below there, we're going to target the 76.18 level. If we turn around and move higher, our only real target is about the 77.20 level, followed by the prior highs. We do have an update in the Canadian dollar, though. We've moved back up. We have a key defining point and a key gain level right around the 132.05. If we get a close above the 132.12 level, we're going to then watch for potential run up to the 132.83 level, followed by the 133.21 level. If we have resistance here and pull back, watch for the 131.63 level, followed by the 131.26 level. That's all I have for you today, Bob. Back to you.
Thank you, Michael. Please remember, if you're enjoying these videos, to hit the subscribe button. And after you hit the subscribe button, that little bell will pop up. Hit that as well so that YouTube lets you know when we have a new video out, because obviously this information is timely. Click the like button and then follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. Twitter is path_trading and Facebook is Path Trading Partners. Also, pathtradingpartners.com, there's a new Money Path podcast out. You can get it at pathtradingpartners.com, or you can type in the Money Path podcast into your search bar. Please subscribe to that as well, and send us an email at support@pathtradingpartners.com, or leave a comment in the comments section. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.